Okay, welcome to the Unit 1, Lesson 8 video. When you look at the lesson, it's basically just reading through it and seeing what we've been doing in the past, because we've been doing all of our constructions using technology anyway. So I'm going to go through these constructions, and these are all things that you should be able to do and recognize the different steps in there and identify what is going on. So I'm going to start with the very first one here. So I'm going to construct the perpendicular bisector of segment AB. So I'm going to use circle with a radius, I think. So I'm going to click A and I'm going to call my ooh, I didn't want all that. Put my radius at, let's back up. Ooh, I don't think I made that big enough. Let's try it again. Let's go circle with a particular radius. And our radius is going to be, let's try 5 and see if that works for me. And then on the other end, I'm going to draw a circle from B with a radius of 5. And then I'm going to put a point. Ooh, oh, I thought I cleaned that up, but I guess I didn't remember that. So I'm going to put a point where the circles intersect. I could use my intersecting tool, or I could just use my point tool. Oh, I did clean it up. I left several tools on here, some that we've used before and some that we haven't used. So I did clean it up. It's just not as clean as maybe it used to be. And then I'm going to connect those points, and there it is. I also asked you to measure the distance from A to the midpoint. So the midpoint would be where that perpendicular bisector intersects your segment. So I can put a point there. This is the tool that's going to measure a distance. So I'm going to measure the distance from A to E, and also the distance from B to E. And again, that should come out to be the same. And excuse me, even if I grab point A and move it around, those distances will always be the same. Unless I do that, then they go away. Okay, so that was the first one. Now I'm going to construct the angle bisector. So first I need to make a center with a radius. So again, I'm going to go center. I'm going to go radius of 4 this time. And then I need to identify the points where that circle intersects your angles, sides. And I'm going to do the perpendicular bisector of that. So this time I'm going to use that circle. I'll just do it. Center at D and go into E. And then center at E going to D. I'm going to put points where those two intersect. Let's use the intersect tool. I'm going to draw my line. It passes through that. And then also I ask you to, so there's a lot of circles and stuff on there, but I also ask for you to measure the angles. So this is the angle measuring tool. So we're just going to click on 3 points with the vertex being the middle point. So I'm going to go D to A to, oops, I went the wrong way. F, that's not what I wanted to do. All right, then I'll measure the other one from B to A to F, and then I'll have to go. Sometimes it matters what order you go in when you're measuring an angle. Maybe I should have deleted the first one. But if you can see in there, I do have the two angles are 22.97 degrees. I don't know if I can grab it and move it or not. That didn't look like it. So anyway, I just like for you to try and measure those angles as well. Now we can construct a square with AB as one of its sides. So this is one where I need to go with a circle from A to B, and then also the circle from B to A. That gives me the points that are the same distance from A as B is, a whole bunch of them. I'm going to shrink my picture up just a little bit. And now I need to make a perpendicular through A and perpendicular through B. So if you remember, I extended the line. I'm just going to draw a line AB using the line tool. I'm going to put a point where that hits my circles on each end. And then I can do the perpendicular bisector of segment CB and the perpendicular bisector of segment AD. And this is going to get a little messy with a lot of circles, but I'm going to do it fairly quickly, and I'm just going to go circle through a point. So I'm just going end to end. So hopefully it won't get too big. B to C, C to B. And then I can draw in, I'm just going to draw in that segment that goes from that intersection down to A. And it would go through the other point down below. But my square is going to end right here. My square is going to end right there where that circle is, because that's the point that's the same distance from A as B is. Now I'm going to do the same thing. Again, if you're confused or having trouble with this, you're free to pause the video to kind of take a look at it a little slower. I'm going to go A to D. I'm going to do the perpendicular bisector of that, and then D to A. I'm going to draw my segment that goes, segment, come on, there we go, from where those two intersect. And again, it's a little confusing here, but down to B. But I'm really going to stop it here. So I'm going to put a point there. And I'm going to draw my segment from F to H. So my square goes from A to F to H to B. That square right there. And if I grab it and move stuff around, it stays a square. That was probably the most involved here. Now we're going to do a parallel line through AB, or through C parallel to AB. So we did this one by doing two perpendicular. So this is going to take a moment as well. So I'm going to do a circle with a given radius. So I'm going to go from C, and let's try a radius of 4, see if that works for me. That looks pretty good. Gives me 2 solid points on my line. I could use the point tool or the intersect tool. Either way should work. Now I'm going to draw a couple of circles from there. That was a 4, so let's do a radius of maybe 3. Go from D with 3. And I could go through a point too, and then I'm going to go E. That's the other intersection with a radius of the same, 3. There they are, they intersect. So I'm going to line up those. Let me get rid of this so I can put points at where those intersect. So that's that perpendicular bisector. Keeps coming back over and over again. There and there. And I'm going to draw the line that goes through that. And again, I didn't really need to do the points first. So now I need to do the perpendicular bisector of where C is that midpoint. So if I make it a little bit smaller, I've really already got the circle from C. So I can identify the points where that C circle hits that line that I just drew in there. Those are going to be H and I. Now I'm going to draw a circle here. I'll do the 2 circles from H to I. So I'm going to go I to H, and then H to I. So they have the same radius. They intersect here and here. Now I'm going to draw the line goes through those. I'm not going to put the points in first this time. Bang, that's where that point goes, and right where those hit. And there it is. That last line I just drew should be parallel to the other one. If I move like point A around a little bit, And yeah, everything happens until my circles get to, because my circles are defined by a number. I can't change it too much, but they'll stay parallel there. Okay, we have several constructions here. Now we're going to do equilateral triangle. Ooh, yeah, this is one of my favorites. This is just a perpendicular bisector going the, ooh, I didn't change the tools. I left all the tools on here. So here you get to play with all the different tools. This time we're going to go center through a point. So I'm going to draw the circle A that goes to through B. So we just click straight to B. Circle at B that goes to A. Again, you click right on the A, and where those two intersect is my third point of my triangle. That's going to be the same distance. Let me use, so I got to click on that, go to the segment tool. From A to B is going to be the same distance as B to A because they're both radii of circle B. And then the circle from center segment from A to C is the same as A to B is the same as A to C because they're both radii of that circle. And we have the equilateral triangle. Okay. We're going to do inscribe. Circle inside of a square inscribed of a circle. That's pretty easy. That's not too bad to do. I'll go ahead and use point B. I'm going to draw the line through B and A. Identify the point where that line hits over here. Ooh, I think I missed it. There. I think that's not what I want. I need to. Yeah, I can't. I don't want to do that, so I'm going to back that off. Get rid of point C. Let's use the intersect tool. That way I'll get, because I missed with my point of hitting the intersection, and I knew that because it was blue, not black. So when I hit an intersection, it's black. I don't know if you've noticed that or not. So now I'm going to go a circle with a particular radius. So I'm going to do the perpendicular bisector of this. I'm going to go with 4. I think that'll be okay. Ooh, barely. And 4 from B. I think this will work. It's not going to give me, I'm not a big fan of this because those circles are really close together, but since this is technology, it will work just fine. So now I'm going to draw my line. If you're doing this with a compass, it's a little harder when they're that close together. So the 4 parts of the 4 endpoints of my square are where that line hits the circle and where the first diameter hit the circle. So I'm going to put those with segments. Connect C to there. It's black, so I know I hit the intersection. This one might be a little harder to hit. There it is. There we go. And again, I've made my square inscribed in the circle. And then the last one was the regular hexagon. This is, if you remember, we did this like very first time. So let's see here. Let's just make a circle with we're going to make a bunch of circles with the radius of 4. So there's my first radius of 4, and I just pick a point on the circle, and I'm going to make a circle from there that has a radius of 4. Where that hits, I'm going to make another circle with a radius of 4. And where that hits, I'm going to make another circle with a radius of 4. Because I started with a radius of 4, all of them are 4. One more. And that, I need to put a point. I'll use the intersection this time. I did limit what you had, so intersect those guys here and here. Take my segment tool and draw in all of those segments. So So again, this is kind of a review assignment. It gives you a chance to review the constructions and the things that we've already done. Hopefully also review the vocabulary. What's the definition of the segment, the line, the angle, um, circle, all of those things. And there we have it. So I think that's the last one for this. So that did take a little bit of time, but hopefully if you struggled with any of those, you could watch the one you needed. So thanks, and we'll see you later.